In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to use wildcards when searching on Ancestry.com. There are two wildcards that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. Welcome back to another episode on Genealogy TV. I am so glad you're here. Let me introduce myself. If this is your first time here, my name is Connie Knox. I am a lifelong genealogist here to help you go further, faster, and factually with your family research. Now, just so that you don't miss any of these free videos, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified each time we upload a video. Also, Genealogy TV has a Facebook page and a website at genealogytv.org. We're going to jump into it right now. We're going to talk about two different wildcards. One is an asterisk and the other is a question mark. Okay, so here I just went up to the search and I hit all collections. Okay, so here I am getting ready to search Chris Madsen. Now I've seen Chris Madsen spelled Christopher the traditional way, Christ with a T, Christopher with two F's. I've seen Madsen spelled S-E-N and S-O-N. So we could just search and see what we come up with. But if we want to get a little more exact, maybe we know that there's a record with a specific spelling or something, or we just want to generally find out all the different variations, knowing a little bit about what we know and a little bit about what we don't know. Because back in the day, they didn't care so much about spelling. And so there's a lot of variations of spelling. So if we take Chris and we put an asterisk on the end and then we hit go, we have a variety of names starting with Chris, but now we have Christine and Christian, and here's another Christian. And actually in this case, we've got George Hans Christopher Madsen. That's kind of interesting. All right, so we've got a variation of Christopher Madsen's or Chris Madsen's using the asterisk. Now let's go back to our search engine for a moment and let's use the question mark in place of the E in Madsen because it could be S-O-N. And there we'll get a variety of choices as well, but we're only replacing that one character with a question mark. So here we have Christian again, Chris Madsen, a variety of things here. Here's one that's S-O-N, so it's replaced that one character right there. And that's the benefit of the question mark search. Now let's go back for a moment and look at some other choices. Now I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to get rid of this just so that we don't get too confused. Here are some other choices beyond the wildcards in that you could use exact, that sounds like, sounds similar, and is, okay, so keep in mind, exact and sounds like, exact and sounds similar, and exact and initials. If you want to know more about these, you could get an exact definition of all of that here, but let's make this quick. I want to add initials. So I want exact. I want Chris Madsen. I'm not checking the exact here, but this is going to give me exactly Chris plus any initial on the end. So it could be Chris M. Madsen, Chris S. Madsen. You'll see. So look what happened here. We've got Chris, the exact spelling as we asked for. This time Madsen is spelled similarly because we did not choose the exact setting. Chris Madsen again. Chris, again, exact Chris, plus the C. So we asked for exact plus an initial, Madsen. So the Madsens are in variation here, but we also have the initial as well. As you can see, we had asked for exact plus initials. So we could do the same thing here too if we're adamant that we know that Madsen is spelled exactly that way and we don't have to choose anything. Now just FYI, SoundX is an old indexing, it's kind of a sound-alike index that used to be used to help index the census records and such, so that Madsen, Matson with an O-N, all of those things would be grouped together with the same SoundX codes. It's not really being used these days that much because we've digitized all of the census records. And so we can now use search engines like this to find our ancestors and those exact or sound similar or sounds like variations. So that is my kind of quick tip on using wildcards and or using the exact choices here. Personally, I usually keep these unchecked because I want all the variations to show up. I don't want to limit myself. But if you happen to know that your ancestor, for example, is spelled like this, Christopher, we can search and see if we can come up with Christopher. There he is. Denmark, right? Christopher from Denmark. Pretty common for that time. And so, well, there you have it. Some quick tips on how to search using wildcards and or the exact checkboxes there or the similar checkboxes. All right, so I hope that was helpful. If so, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified each time we upload a video. It's time for you to go do some searching for your ancestors. Until next time, keep on climbing your family tree.